Hi, my name is Joseph and welcome to Flowshop. Some time ago I started a YouTube channel just to be sharing how I photograph or how I edit my actual setups when I'm shooting in the studio or on location. I'm going to open Lightroom and I'm going to open Capture One. I started using Lightroom and Bridge earlier on, but I kind of love it. But I'm not going to go too much into it right now. I'm just going to state the obvious differences that I saw when I started using Capture One, and one of the major reasons why I decided to use it over Bridge or Lightroom or Adobe Camera Raw. Okay, so first of all, you can easily tell that the images in this left, and by the way, this image I haven't done any adjustments to it in Lightroom or in Capture One. So this is a straight out of camera image. Now on the left, you can tell that the image here looks very dull. The colors in the background are not so vibrant. The red in the lips, everything, her skin, it just looks pale. But when you look at it in Capture One, it looks totally different. The colors in the background are more vibrant. In the lips, it's vibrant. Like everything just pops in Capture One. If I want to get the same effect here or even something better, then it means that before I do the shoot, I'm supposed to use my color checker. And so when I come back into Lightroom, I can create a profile and then tweak the image according to that profile, so I can get all the colors to match and look exactly as it's should, or as I saw it on the day of the photo shoot. Alright, so I'm just gonna quickly close Lightroom because I don't need that anymore, and just make sure my Capture One is fully open. What I'm gonna start off with tweaking this is I'm gonna start with, in fact, I want to keep the tools open, so let me just drag it instead of maximizing it the way I did. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to start working with this particular image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and create a new variant down here, just so I have a copy of that. I can always go back and forth to look at the adjustments I've made. So first of all, I'm going to push down the exposure a little bit, even though in the histogram it's telling me that it's quite underexposed. But what I'm concerned about is the skin right now. I'm just going to push it down just a bit like so. And by doing that, it means I can lift up the shadows a bit more, just because I want to expand the dynamic range in the image. Before and then after, the image looks evenly exposed. It looks better now. Alright, and since this tutorial is just about how I clean skin, currently all we're looking at is clearing the blemishes on her skin and still make her skin look fresh and natural and less photoshopped. Contrast a little bit and increase the brightness like so, and even just add maybe 3 to the saturation. So I'm just going to go again to before and after, before and after. Alright, so now I'm going to right click this image and I'm going to edit with Photoshop. So it's going to open inside Photoshop right about now. What I'm going to start with is I use the patch tool. So what I'm going to do is hit Command J to make a duplicate of the layer. Then I'm going to hit J for my healing tools and just go click and hold and go into the patch tool. Now with that selected, selected the source, the patch is normal, transparent unchecked, diffusion above 5, everything else stays the same, and all I'm going to be doing is drawing circles around the areas I want to correct and drag it to a clean area. So like this, move it down, do this, move it down, move this, move it across, this. And I'm just, first of all, I'm not zoomed in all the way. I'm currently at 58%. I don't want to zoom into 100% because this image is not going to be printed on a billboard or anything of that sort. So just the ones that immediately stick out like this, that's all I'll be doing, just drawing circles around them to get rid of them. Alright, so in order not for you to get bored, I'm gonna skip through this video, but this is all I'll be doing. If I do anything else, I'll stop the video to talk about it, but all I'm gonna be doing is using the patch tool, just circling and moving it about. Let me just do a quick before and after so you see how far I have gone with that. I hope you can see it on your screen. So I didn't really change much, I just did a lot of cleaning up. Alright, now I don't aim to do I don't mean to clean everything with just one tool. And so currently I'm just going to switch to the healing brush tool and then just go over certain areas that I missed with the patch tool. So I'm just going to hit and hold and select the healing brush tool. Now just make sure your set is sampled, current and below aligned is checked, and all I'm going to do is hit Alt to sample the good area and then just paint over the area I want to heal. I'm not going to do a lot of these, just fix the little blemishes that I just missed with the patch tool. Now this is just bugging me, and so what I'm going to use for this is going to be the clone stamp tool. So I'm going to hit S for the clone stamp tool. I can get rid of these as much as possible. I mean, because the hairs are very small, I decided to zoom in just to make sure that I'm as precise as possible, even though I said there's no need to be as precise as you would if this was for print or for a magazine feature or something of the sort. Whilst I'm here, I'm just making sure I can get rid of as many blemishes as possible that would probably bug me later on. So I'm just taking my time in. So little before and after, and you notice we've gotten rid of all those small hairs. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do next is this area. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna create a new layer. I'm gonna hit S for the clone stamp tool again. This time I'm gonna make sure my flow is set to 100%. I'm gonna sample this area that I like, and I'm just gonna brush all of this. Okay, now because this is on its own layer, I can move it around, right? Now all I want to do is fill this area, so I'm just going to move it down to about here, hit Command T to bring out the transform tools, and then just rotate it and make sure it's fitting in. I can also hit the warp and then just make sure that I make it fit as much as possible. Okay, that looks just about right. I'm gonna add a layer mask to this. I'm gonna paint with black to get rid of this right here, like so. Alright, because of the shadow here, it looks a little bit dented, so we'll deal with it in another stage. So I'm gonna run my frequency separation action, and I have quite a number of them, so I'm just gonna run the 16 bits version that I have. I'm just looking at the blur radius to make sure all the textures are blurred off this particular layer so they can be fully transferred onto the high or texture layer. So I'm just gonna hit OK. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make another duplicate. So Command J to duplicate the low layer. I'm gonna hit B for the brush tool, and I'm gonna select my mixer brush. And all I'm going to be doing now is just painting, smoothing the tonal transitions, the layer. So just like so. My settings are above here, so you can see them. But this is all I'm doing. I'm just gradually painting and making sure all the transitions are as smooth as possible. I don't want to get rid of a blush, so just gradually painting. Sometimes what I also do is I can create a new layer on top of the frequency separation. I can fill it with black or white or whatever, set it to color, and it's going to pull all the color out of it. And so when I'm painting here, I know that I am just working on the tonal transitions and the color isn't a distraction in this case. So I'm just painting, and this is also going to be sped up so you don't get bored looking at me do all of this. Okay, so now that I am done with that, let me just zoom in so you can take a look at the skin. Let me just do a quick before and after of everything that we've done. So let me merge this into another group. And so this was the raw. This is what we started with. This is the first stage of the cleaning I did with the patch tool, and this is with frequency separation in addition. Alright, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna do dodge and burn, but I'll save that for another tutorial. I mean, this is just the first stage. This is just to let you know the tools I use, how I use them, and my thinking process. You can just feel free to explore, try different tools. I mean, there's so many ways to do things in Photoshop. By all means, do not stick to this process. Let this just be a guide, and let me know what you come up with. Let me know when you try this out, and if it helped you in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching this particular episode. I promise this year is going to be a very, very informative one, especially showing how I work, my thought process. Again, I've said this like 1,000 times, bear with me. It's just things that I do that makes my work appreciative, you know. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.